Hey YouTubians, Miss Coop, how you doing? I know that I promised that I was going to do better with my videos because I have been extremely tied up. And as you well know, I'm not tied up anymore. I suppose you're wondering, what am I doing with my time while, while I'm looking for another job? I'm getting my house in order. That's right. I'm getting my house in order. I decided to take some time and pull my house together, get rid of some things, destroy some things. I'm going to start by telling you, if you have things with your name, your address, your account number on them, get yourself a lawn and leaf bag from Lowe's or Home Depot and start a bag and start throwing all that stuff in there. That's if you don't have a shredder. If you have a shredder, put all that stuff in there and on a monthly basis, sit in front of the television and shred your stuff. But I have so much stuff that comes through here, and I'm in the process of making sure that I get rid of some really old things, because after my husband passed, I held on to everything. I held on to everything. I cannot tell you how difficult it was to part with some of the things that he owned, but I eventually did that. The other thing, as a result of being unemployed at this time, I have decided to get rid of things that are a drain to my budget. And I have a storage that's outside of my home. And my thought is, that if I have a storage that's outside of my home, perhaps maybe I have too much stuff and I need to pare down some of those things. So my youngest son and I went to the storage room and got a bunch of that stuff and discarded a lot of it, took some of it to the city dump, and after we got rid of so much stuff, I discovered that a lot of it belongs to my son now, my oldest son. He's got all of his Alpha stuff and his Alpha Centennial, blah, 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 blah. I don't know all that stuff. However, I got with him yesterday, and he was able to come to the storage room and get rid of some things as well. And what I did do is, since he is in the process of building his own home, I'm going to hold on to some of that stuff for him until he moves into his house. And then when he moves into his house, and that's going to be, at the beginning of the year, then I will completely get rid of my storage room and figure out what I want to do with the few trinkets that's left inside. So, in the meantime, I have decided that I want to, when I go back to work, I want to go back to doing something that I totally and completely enjoy. I want to have fun doing whatever it is that I'm doing. I want to be able to talk to people. I want to be able to help them. And even though I was doing that in the job that I was doing, I did not exactly have joy in the things that I did. The joyous moments were fleeting because, when you help someone, I get this tingly feeling inside of me that I had helped somebody and that they now understood what it was that they needed to do. But I think now it's time to go off into something that I'm going to appreciate. It's going to benefit me. Like for example, I teach Zumba. And it would be easy for me to go to a Zumba class every evening and let someone else run the class. But here's the beautiful part. I got to work out anyway. And since I have to work out anyway, I decided I'll become a Zumba instructor. And by becoming a Zumba instructor, that allowed me to get paid to work out. And I work out with a wonderful group of ladies. I really do. And I absolutely love them. One of the centers that I teach at, they go on hiatus around Thanksgiving. And we don't come back until late February, early March. And those same ladies always come back. And I appreciate it. I love them. I absolutely love them. In my other center, I have some dedicated women who come down and work out with me. There's been some new ladies who come down, and I absolutely enjoy these ladies. They're, really nice. And, they're older women. I mean, don't get it twisted, ladies. If you're young, one day you're going to be an older, hopefully wiser woman yourself. And being an older and a wiser woman yourself, whatever you do, make sure that you work out. If you want to be youthful in your appearance, make sure that you work out, because working out is going to help you stay youthful. Not young looking. It's not going to keep you young looking. It's going to keep you youthful. And so you have to find an hour of the day. You have to find 1 hour in the day, and you're going to have to work out. This is the least you can do for yourself. So next, like I said, I want to do something that's going to be fun to me. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to get a chance to talk to people. I'm going to get a chance to not only benefit myself, but benefit others in the process. Yeah, I know you're probably saying, yeah, Miss Coop, you're doing that right now when you're talking to us. Yes, but this don't pay me. So, we do what we do. So I just wanted to get with you guys and talk about stuff as I always do. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he says he's interested in me, and he says all the right things, but here's the thing. When a man is interested in you, he is going to do everything in his power to eliminate his competition, okay? It's one thing for a man to be persistent. It is another thing when the man is attentive. He can be attentive and not persistent, or he can be persistent and not attentive. When you're chasing down a woman and trying to get her in your camp, it is important that you be persistent and attentive. And when I say attentive, you can't drop a text message and, hey, how you doing? First of all, get the hell off of the text messaging, because you cannot see her or him. You cannot look into his or her eyes, and you cannot tell what they're feeling. And so therefore, you cannot develop a relationship with that person. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you. I'm telling you what I know. Okay? I've been in a world for a long time. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who this was that told me this just here recently. The game is the same. The people have changed. Now I'm going to tell you what I always say. It ain't nothing new under the sun. A man is still a man and a woman is still a woman. The problem is that we don't do our due diligence. And as a result, when we don't do our due diligence, we get what we get. We get men who are sneaking around, men who have issues. They got mama issues, they got daddy issues, they got abandonment issues, and you get the same thing, from the woman's side of the house. You get abandonment issues, you get all kind of things that's happening, and as a result, you don't have good relationships. A little bit down the road, after you done hopped into bed with him or her, you trying to figure out, well, what happened? We were getting along so well. Well, girl, he got the panties. He got some nookie and he moved on. The one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to give up your goodies before you know who he is. That's a problem. That's a problem. When you don't know who he is, you're going to get what you get, baby. So I'm just here to tell you, don't give up the goodies. Do not give up the goodies until you know who he is. Now, I know Steve Harvey had this thing, this 90-day rule. The hell with that 90-day rule. Sorry, Steve. I'm sorry. The hell with that 90-day rule. That's just putting you under control until you can figure out what you're going to do. No, I'm going to give you a better one than that. You need to take your time. You need to slow walk him to where it is you're trying to get him. Because I'm going to tell you, if you give up too soon, if you give up your goodies too soon, you're going to find out that you shouldn't have gave them up at all. Okay, that's That's just what I say. If you give up too soon. One of the things that you got to do is you got to find out who he is. And you got to find out if he's really interested in you. He might be interested in getting it in bed with you, but he may not be interested in holding on to you. You know, you hear him say all the time, that's not wifey material. Well, let Miss Coop tell you right now, I've been a wifey 3 times. Okay? And why am I married to him? Well, the first one, I was too young. I shouldn't have did that. The second one, he was too young. He shouldn't have did that. And the third one, he wanted to live in the world and have it all. He wanted to have me and the women he was chasing, and I wasn't going to let that happen. I loved him and he loved me, but he learned some bad habits when he grew up. And as a result, I was not going to tolerate being the head mistress. How about that? So, you know, I divorced him. He passed away shortly after that. No, I didn't kill him. He had a heart attack. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. You know, God bless him. But from a realistic standpoint, you got to make sure that you do your due diligence when it comes to the men that is chasing you. And yes, mainly I'm talking to women. I'm talking to men too, but I'm talking to women. And whatever I'm saying to women, apply that from a man's perspective. You know, you can't bed down every woman you see. You have to decide that I have a garden. That's the first thing as a man you should do. If you say, I just love flowers, meaning us women, because we are flowers, and you have a garden, and you got to stop segregating your garden. We as women realize that you got daisies and roses and daffodils and all of that, and you got to stop segregating them. They can all live in the same garden and be beautiful together, but they need to know what kind of flowers is in your garden. Because as long as you segregating them, you the one that's scared to walk out into the world, not us. If you give your flowers the chance to make a decision as to whether or not they want to live in your garden, some of them may decide that they don't want to live in your garden, which is why you lie about the flowers that's in your garden. You have to decide as a man that you don't have to have every flower, meaning bed down every woman. Now, you know, I'm getting a little long in the tooth here. I'm saying a lot more than I had originally got on here to discuss. And I may have to wind up splitting this video.